Ready? Prepared?
Let's try.
Let's try. So this is my favorite song from the start. Okay. It's great honor that I can welcome here Vice President of FIPS Mouche, Paul Vekemans. Welcome.
Thank you.
We are now here in Northern Moravia because here is World Championship for category Masters. How are you here?
Fine till now. Tomorrow will be the tough day.
Yeah, so
the final results, maybe some discussions, but I don't think so.
You think it can be?
No.
It was some problem until now, or?
No, to be right, everything went very smoothly. So,
okay. Also, logistic and hotel accommodation, no problem with that.
No problem. Just one of the one of the international supervisors was so happy he got a suite for him. And then he found out that two other Polish international supervisors joined him in the room. So, but it's fine.
Just now in front of the hotel, I heard that they missed one guy from US. So maybe you didn't hear this story.
No, I really
because he was so down after competition. So he's. Was already in a bus and lay down on the last row and fall asleep. And the sector judge counted all the people, and one was missing. And he was running around and also in some pub. There is some pub, and asked, and he was yelling. He was yelling, "USA, USA!" and guys in pub was laughing that he is missing one American guy, and he was sweet. He had sweet dream in a bus.
Yeah. That's fantastic, but that's the pepper on the salt of those championships.
Yeah. This story is I love it. So, Paul, I know you. I think about the first time when we met, it was 2007. 2007.
Are you so young?
Yeah. So we met in. It was Norway. European Championship.
On the Lagan.
Yeah, and for me it was a funny story because I was in captain's meeting, and I asked you, and you very funny. You had very funny answer because I asked you if I can swim in the water, and you said okay, you can, but trolling is not allowed. You don't remember, yeah, but for me it's one of the highlights of this competition.
Yeah, but afterwards we changed a little bit that rule because we found out that some competitors are very inventive. They fished in Scotland the far bank from a river, and then it was too difficult to cross with the fish, so they took their safety vest, they blew it up, and they were swimming back to bring in the fish.
It was kind of belly boat fishing.
And so we decided that your feet always have to be in contact with the ground. So.
Yeah, it's true that on this championship in Norway, I was also swimming, but it was because there was rain and big water and this and that. Yeah. Anyway, so you are vice president, and I make some research in internet, and you were president, and it was in 2009. Is it correct?
I can't remember, but normally we can do 2 terms of 4 years. But I did almost 10 years because as vice president, I had to replace James Ferguson, who had a severe ski accident. And so I had to replace him till the next elections.
Yeah. And I found that this election was in 2009 in Dresden.
Yeah. correct?
Is it correct?
Yeah.
So I try find some information about you.
Yeah.
So, and how it's when we start about your role in FIPS Mouche, the way in FIPS Mouche, how it started?
It started a long time ago. Then there was a SIPS Congress in San Marino.
Mm-hmm.
And there they founded, in fact, FIPS Mouche as one of the branches of SIPS, but still under the wings of course fishing.
Okay.
And it is...
It was I think, in San Marino, you said, and it was April 1989.
Yeah.
Is it correct?
Yeah.
And sorry for this question, you were already there, or?
I was already there. I was sent by Belgium to be present. And probably I started fly fishing, and my first world championship as competitor was in 1985 in Poland. So since that time, I'm in fact involved with world championships fly fishing.
Ooh, it's a long time. Yeah, very long time. I was in that time in high school, so it's also a long time. Yeah. Anyway, So and you were there as a representative of Belgium.
Yeah.
And how it happened that you became president?
Probably they were looking for volunteers and people willing to do something for fly fishing. So it was with Tony Pawson from England, Mock Morgan from Wales. I think it was also the president of the French fly fishermen. And so we decided to go along, and then 2 years or 4 years later, we came a separate federation, and it was, if I'm right, in Bordeaux. And due to circumstances, I couldn't be there. And Tony Pawson, who was supposed to become our president, he missed by 1 week. So he was not either at the meeting. And so they elected as first president of FIPS Mouche. It was Jack Simpson, Canadian.
Okay. So, and you were also a competitor. So even when you were in this FIPS Mouche as a authority?
No.
In that time,
no.
You weren't already?
No. My last championship was in Finland, I think.
As a competitor?
As competitor. Also in Kuusamo, where Vladi Tritsbunjas became world champion.
Okay.
So I think it's 89. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure too. But I know that you were very successful captain.
Yeah, I did some years, but then I realized that when I became vice president of FIPS Mouche, I thought it was not compatible with being captain. And so after the World Championships in 2000 in England, I decided to stop as captain for the Belgian team.
Okay. I found that you were captain on team in 1997. It was in Jackson Hole in States. And you were there...
Silver.
Yeah. It's very, very successful.
Yeah, I was lucky. I was invited due to a casting contest. I was invited to be part of a special team to participate in the one fly competition. So I was already in Jackson Hole. I knew about the way of fishing. I knew, for me, the best fishing guides. And then when we knew that the World Championships would be there, I decided to go with my wife and my 2 kids on trip in the United States. And we spent a week in Jackson Hole. I fished with what I thought were the good guides. I learned a lot.
Great preparation.
Yeah, and then we had some really good river fishermen, and they wouldn't listen the first days. And no,
your advices.
Yeah, we are good fishermen. We know what we do. But then after 2 days, they realized that it was different. And they followed it with success.
Yeah, but second place, it's really great. I make some research also about Belgium teams. So, and the last medal in world is in 2003. How it's possible? Because in 80s and even in 90s, you have quite a lot medals. Never became world champion, but many bronze and also silver medals. But in this century, you don't have luck. What happened with Belgium competitors?
One of the problem is we have very nice rivers. Until maybe 20, 30 years ago, it were good rivers. But now pollution, they don't care about the fish in the water. And we have good fly fishermen on rivers. But Belgium is small. So there are not so many people from the north, where I live, that go to the south to fish on the rivers. Especially when you catch 1 or 2 shap on a day, then they say, I don't go there.
Okay.
So it are most of the time, like now, French-speaking people from the south, which are team. And they do a very good job, and they are very good anglers. But after 2 or 3 years going to a world championship, the missus at home say, now it's my turn to go on holidays. And we go together. and that's the reason we don't have enough support from the government or from the state or from the sports council. So the federation most of the time just pay a small part of the inscription, and all the rest and the training week, and they have to pay from themselves. And then I can believe that after a couple of years, they have to stay home.
Okay. So, and when we are talking about Belgium team, so you have some leagues in fly fishing in Belgium or not?
We have one national fly fishing federation. Belgian Fly Fishing Committee, English name. Then we have Federatie Vlaamse Vliegvissers, which is the Flemish part. We have about 1,500 members, but there are maybe 20 competitors in it. And then you have the French-speaking part. They have Commission de la Pêche Sportive Mouche, and they have about 100 competitors. And so we work together with the 2 different parts to have one national federation.
And you have some regular team competition in every year, or because we have division?
No.
Many teams. Division, I think at least 20, 30 teams in a country, maybe even more, then second league, then first league. So how it is in a...
We don't have a competition with club teams.
Just individuals?
Just individuals, and we have, I think, 5 or 6 competition days. Most of the time, 3 sessions on lake, 3 sessions on river. So we have a river championship, we have a lake championship, and then depending how the structure of the world championships is, then we have to see 1 of the lake and 4 of the river, which make the team.
And who is choosing this team? Committee, some committee?
It changes about every year. Till years ago, it were the results. And then if someone say, I cannot make it, then we go to the next in the classification. And then they decided to have a kind of small committee, or the captain had to decide. And so I think for the moment it's based on results.
Results, yeah. And money, of course.
Yeah.
When somebody doesn't have enough money, so they say, take another one.
Or they have to find sponsorship for him, or his club will help him. So it's difficult.
It also happened that the club makes some fund for
absolutely, yes.
It's great. And I have to also say that the team results are quite old. The good, but you have in 2013 third Julian Lorket.
Yeah.
So it was really good. He was third in a very tough competition in Norway.
It is.
So this is my notes here.
He's a good angler. He started again with competitions. So I hope in the future we see him again
in a medal position. So and about FIPS Mouche, I checked the website. Anyway, really nice.
Yeah.
I think 2 or 3 years ago
we changed.
And it looks really good. Many information. 32 years, 39 members, 87 champs ever.
Yeah.
The big numbers there. And what I was surprised, that member of FIPS Mouche is Russia. I never see Russia competitors. Did you see them?
No. But
they pay some...
Like for years, Denmark paid as member of FIPS Mouche and never were present at the championship. But now Russia, they came with the question that they could postpone the membership because there were some financial problems.
Okay. So, and how it works when a state want to become a member of FIPS Mouche? How is the procedure?
They have to provide statutes of their federation. They have to provide an official letter in which their sports council or whatever states that they can represent their country in official fly fishing competitions.
So they send this all information and that's it?
They have to send that information and a kind of general information leaflet. And then we accept them as member in our General Assembly of FIPS Mouche. If they are accepted by us, then we propose them as new member to SIPS, which is the body over all fishing, sea fishing, coarse fishing, fly fishing. And then when he pays his annual fees, he's member.
Okay, so and I don't know if it's not secret, but I don't think so. How is annual payment for membership?
If I'm right, it's 900 euros for the moment.
Per state?
Yes.
Okay. And you have to, the state have to pay it every year?
Yes.
Okay. So, and this was question about membership. And then when state want to make a world championship, how it works?
First, we give them what we call a smaller championship, which is or a European, or a youth, or masters, or now ladies, which will be new from next year on. If they succeed in doing a good job, then they can bid to have the big world championship.
So, and okay, this is the first step. And is there some, because I heard that FIPS Mouche will come for controlling this place, how it works, this I mean.
Most of the time, 1 to 2 years before the start of a championship, someone of the board, which is a lot of times me, because I have time, I go and visit for 2-3 days, maybe 4 days. we will see all the sectors or the sectors they propose.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a choice out of 5-6 sectors.
Mm-hmm.
We see for the accommodation, we see where the banquets and the opening and the closing ceremony will be. We look for let's say how they will arrange the buses and the transports to the sectors.
Mm-hmm. How it's far,
yeah. Where will they eat at noon? Will they have packed lunches or will they eat in a local restaurant? How far are the venues from the hotel? All those things are covered. And then we see to the modifications of the rules, depending on the local legislation and on specific needs.
Mm-hmm. So, and one time, I don't want to make you angry, but one time in Norway, it was really complicated championship. Exactly the same when Lorcat was third, because if I am right, there was 22 people with no fish. So, and you control it before it, or what happened there?
The problem was there was a lake, and we called it the graveyard. But we don't know. They can give local fishing rights. And so they gave the fishing rights to a local fisherman, and he netted the lake a couple of days before the start of the championship.
So no fish in lake?
No fish. If you had a fish, you won the session.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Great. And
no, not great, but it happens.
So, and you were you participated many competition, many world champ, and if I ask you which one were in your mind as the most successful, the nicest, I know that it's hard to say, but try.
A couple. First of all, maybe due to it was new for us, fishing was very good. It was special. It was the first time out of Europe, I guess. So Jackson Hole, also because we won a silver medal.
Sure.
Another great one was a couple of years ago in Italy, Comano Terme.
Mm-hmm.
I think everyone enjoyed the fishing, the food, the weather was nice, so scenery was good.
And you mean 2018?
Yes.
So I agree. I was there, and we were silver.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Yeah.
Great for us also. Yeah, it was nice competition there. Yeah. But Lago di Cornicello, it was also very complicated place.
Complicated place, but most of the people are still talking about it because it was such a marvelous place to be.
Yeah.
And the fishing was maybe not easy, but it has not to be that easy.
Yeah. And also the story with the controller who had a heart attack. And with happy end.
Yeah.
Also it was great.
It's good. They present me to the doctor, emergency doctor, who was also helicopter pilot. And it was good he was there.
It was.
So we saved a life. And it's important.
It was the guy from Slovenia.
Yeah.
How is his name? Tirovic?
No.
Sparovec?
Yeah.
Sparovec. Yeah. He got some prize in the final ceremony.
Yes.
Yeah, it was nice, and he was hero of this championship.
Now with medals and trophies. We received during the last Congress a question of South Africa. Why not have in the board a kind of registration officer who would take care of the registration of record catches?
Record catches.
And then we said, yeah, but you have IGFA, worldwide registration of world records, and let them do that job.
Yeah.
We are busy with competitions.
So and in your position as a FIPS Mouche president or vice president, you have to deal sometimes with complicated situation. I mean, in some protests or in some. Do you remember the most complicated? Sorry.
If I knew it in advance, maybe. But now,
no, sorry. I didn't want to make you.
No. But sometimes there are slight problems. Like yesterday, I had a slight problem, but we solved it without having juries or whatever. So.
Okay, so this was a part about FIPS Mouche and about Belgium. So and now I want to ask. Personal question. So, how you start with fishing? I mean, really long time ago.
We lived close to a canal, and I saw those anglers sitting there, and I was a busy guy, and I tried to do something. And then finally I got a kind of bamboo rod, 2-3 meters, and not even nylon, and a needle that we plied, and I went with a kind of small basket to the canal with a worm, and I caught 2 or 3 small perch, and I brought them home to show how good I was. And then my parents bought me normal material. Then I saw one of my friends in a local pond, and you should come and have competitions with us. So I started course fishing competitions.
So and about fishing starts, always I ask people about permission, about permits, licenses. Do you have some? Because for example in Ireland they don't have permits, but in Belgium
we have a state license now. It's a license for the Flemish community, one for the French community, and one for Brussels. But that's aside. But then you have private water. So the lake where I was fishing was private, and then you become member of the club and you fish.
Okay. So and it's complicated to become a fisherman in Belgium right now.
No.
Because in our country, at first you have to go to some club, you have to make some exams, and it took at least a few weeks for kids. So it's nothing like this in Belgium.
It's not in Belgium for the moment.
And when somebody wants to fish in Belgium as a foreigner, it's hard to get a license for foreigner?
No.
It's easy.
You go on internet, and 2 days later you have your permit.
Via internet, no problem.
Yeah, except like for fly fishing. Most of the stretches of river are privately owned or owned by clubs.
Okay, and there are some signs, or?
Yeah. But
so and then you contact them.
You still have to find them, like everywhere. And you contact them.
Okay.
Or you go to a local pub. Most of the time they will know what's happening on the river.
So now you are competing course fishing. So in your age, about 10, you say?
10, yeah, maybe till 25. It was course fishing.
Course fishing.
And then we went with friends of that club also pike fishing in Holland. And on the small rivers, sometimes between the big leaves on the water, we saw fish at the surface. And I started reading on fly fishing. And my first rod was a glass fiber rod, a solid glass fiber rod of Abu
Garcia.
Yeah. And afterwards I realized it was with a 7-weight level line on it. And I made some leaders, and I wrote a book about fly tying, and I managed to make some palmer flies. Uh-huh. And one of those Sundays somewhere in October, November, I caught my first roach
on a fly.
And
it was in your age 25?
I think so.
So old?
Yeah.
So I started also so old.
And then the fly was somewhere in the middle of the leader, but it was so kind to grab that fly.
You catch on loop, exactly.
Yeah.
not on fly.
And then one of those friends of the fishing club, he went with other friends to Austria for fly fishing. Mm-hmm. And he told me, you should do that, but by that time, I was already married. And you should come with us, and you would love it to do. Okay, fine. So went with them, Austria. I think it was on the river Vekla. Mm-hmm. Maybe you know it. And they put me in the middle of the river with a rod with 3, what they called larvae, heavy nymphs. Mm-hmm. And they said, cast 3/4 downstream, let your line swing, and then you go one step before, and you cast on the other bank and do exactly the same. He was standing behind me, and I caught some fish. Finally, he disappeared. I was on my own, and I ended my first fly fishing day with 17 trouts.
Ooh, it's nice. Uh-huh.
Yeah, but then standing on the bridge, I saw the 3 other ones fishing with dry fly. And then you saw behind the rock a fish coming for that fly. And then I thought, I should do it next time when I come with them. And when I was home, every evening I was practicing in the garden. Under bushes, behind the tree, distance, everything. And
grass fishing.
And so...
Yeah, I tried also on the playground. Yeah, because we say that on playground 1 hour is like many weeks in the water, because when you are fishing on the water, you are targeting on fish and on casting. So, and in 25, first fish on a fly, and then how it became this competition, fly fishing competition.
Probably someone told me there's a Belgian championship and they are just French-speaking people participating. You should participate. Uh-huh. So I decided to participate. And the first fishing day, we're fishing with 2 on about the same place. And I remember catching a trout, netting it, unhooking, going back to the river to release the fish. And the guy said, what are you doing? I said, I'm putting those fish back. I said, but no, it's a very big fish here. I was used to Austrian size of fish. And the fish measured about 28 centimeters, where the size was 22. But 27 or 28 for me was, for Austria, a small fish. Yeah. So I was ready to release it. And then I made it as first Flemish guy in the team for Poland, 85.
Great. And in the time when you fished in Belgium, how you count the results? It was also with some ruler?
Yes.
Already?
Sometimes I remember periods that we had a keep net. Uh-huh. When there were not enough controllers, they walked by and they asked, do you have fish? Yes, 1 or 2. And then you went to the bank with your keep net, which was hanging next to you. Yeah. And then they measured the fish, they released it.
Yeah, we used to have such a kind of competition also with keep net, but there was 2 rules. 1, no trout on the keep net. Okay. And the keep net have to be on the bank, because wading. Yeah. Okay, so and in your national team, what was the best result as an individual? Do you have some?
Yeah, no. The best result was the first championship. I became 19th in on the River Sun.
Mm-hmm.
And it was at the communist time still, so it was an expedition to go there. We were about to be the only team with a van.
Mm-hmm.
And so during practice, there was always a car following us at a certain distance.
Yeah. I could, I could imagine it was.
We had a castle which served as hotel for the members of the party, and every team had a translator guide, and it were girls from the university. And so ours was speaking French, and the other one was speaking English. And in the bus, I was a lot of time sitting next to them discussing of, and then they told us the only thing we can do is or do sport or culture, and then we can travel. And we took a kind of smoked ham with us, with the Belgian team. So sitting in the room in the evening, there was a kind of automat with Coca-Cola. So we took a Coca-Cola. We had a bottle of, I don't know which drinks with us, and some slices of smoked ham, and tea meetings. And so we decided to give a part of that smoked ham to our lady translator. And the next day in the bus, she cried, said, "What's happening?" She was fired. They found the smoked ham in her room.
And they thought that she robbed it, or?
No, we gave it.
Yeah, I know, but why she was fired?
Probably they did inspection of their rooms.
Yeah, it was really strange times. Yeah.
So
it's hard to explain. Even my sons, when I said to my sons, for example, that you go to shop and you couldn't buy bananas because there was no bananas, no oranges, and Max, my older son, said to me, "Why you don't go to another shop?" I said, in the Czech Republic, Czechoslovakia wasn't bananas. Yeah, it was only 3 times in a year.
I remember because one of my friends was consul of Belgium in Eastern Berlin. And we went to visit him. And they had everything they liked. But when we went on the street and we saw a queue somewhere, they went and they stayed there. And then they asked, "What's on sale today?" And then, "Oh no, it's not interesting." We went. Otherwise, you stayed there because, for example, there were bananas in the shop.
Yeah, but
strange times.
Yeah,
I'm happy it's all over. And
we happy also. So, and after your competition career as a competitor, you start to be captain, and you said that. And it was because, again, you have enough time or volunteer, or why? They choose you?
Yeah. At that time, I was maybe one of the only that did competition who was capable to speak some languages.
So you speak many languages. I thought in Belgium everybody speak at least 2, 3, 4. No, not everybody? So.
They will tell again that I'm a racist, but I'm not. But in the southern part of Belgium, where they speak French, they still think that they can conquer the world just speaking French. And maybe the younger people are different. But in that time, they just spoke French. And then we went to Tasmania. My wife was with me, and he said, "Hey, the only thing they say is, qu'est-ce qu'il dit? What does he tell?" because I had conversations with guides and with organizers and
yeah,
I had to translate.
Yeah, I know that we spoke also with each other in German, so you can speak German, so you can speak French, you can speak English, Vlaamish, and another one.
I understand Italian and Spanish, but I don't speak it. Or maybe after a couple of beers later in the evening. But no.
Beer is a great translator. Yeah. So I can speak more Russia. So, but we have to. He had to study it. Yeah. But 2 years ago I was in Kamchatka, and hard to remember. But finally, I was on the rail. So and it was great. I love that I can speak. I know that my English is not so great, but doesn't matter. We can understand each other. It's great.
That's important.
And I said all the time to young competitor, because they don't believe me. But the younger I said, please try to learn English, at least English, because it opens doors everywhere.
But all the young anglers, I noticed it during a world championship for the youth. Even the French, they managed to understand the others with English and
but I think especially French guys getting a bit better, because the old generation, they don't want to speak. Nobody.
That's
only
right.
Said.
Yeah.
But Said, we know Said Yawi. So he can speak English very well. But the young generation, as Greg, Juglaret, or Mathieu, Gigi, they are so they can speak, they can understand. So and I'm happy because I love them, so I want to speak with them. Yeah.
Even some of the Spanish team.
Yeah, but Pablo can speak, I think.
Pablo now, the younger generation, but till 10 years ago, you had to be lucky that they had a captain who understood some English to come to the captain's meeting. Yeah,
but the same situation is in our team also. 10 years ago, nobody.
No.
Maybe 12 years ago, only Karl. Karl, and in German can speak Jiří Klima. Then Máca, Musil, he can speak English very well. And now David Chlumský, Luboš, Vojta Unger, they can speak English, and it's great because it's
communication
also,
is so important. They make new friends. They travel. They meet each other.
One my friend from Czech Republic said that when he heard the first podcast in English with René, that it was very inspirational, because our guests from Czech Republic all the time were speaking about medals position and when they won and win and this and that. But René, even when he is master world champ, he said that he's finding also in this championship the part as a friendship, to find the friendship and meeting friends, and I love it also.
It is.
Because with some people I know almost 20 years, so, and they are friends, even when we are not understand very well, but we can hug. At least.
I tell since a couple of years to a lot of people, fly fishing is more than catching fish with a fly.
Yeah.
It's everything. Sitting on a bank, talking with each other, meanwhile looking at a fish. When he starts rising, hey, I'll catch that. or having a beer together, sitting together, tying flies. What are you doing? Why you do it like that? That's all together for me fly fishing, and I like it.
Yeah, I don't like it when many people say that when somebody hobby is kind of lifestyle, but I think the fly fishing is kind of lifestyle.
It is. For me, it is.
Okay, I have here kind of a question. Do you have when you try to remember any fly fishing hero from this competition? When you were on the bank and look on the competitors, who stays in your mind?
I think it was Morgan.
Morgan?
Yeah, from Wales.
Uh-huh. And why?
It was so natural what he did.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And he was not rushing, and he caught his fish. I can remember Tony Paulson. You knew him?
He won championship, I think, in 80s.
Yeah, in Spain.
And I think, if I'm right, maybe he was the oldest world champ, isn't it?
It could be, and his son became
world
championship in Tasmania the first time.
He was I think over 60 when he won.
Yeah, because I met him, and then he was in his 80s.
Yeah, it's great.
And they told me, because I wasn't there, it was one of the first world championships in Spain. And he was catching fish, and then he was sitting on the bank with the controller to have a chat, and he opened a can of beer to have a drink while fishing. Now it should be impossible during fly fishing competitions.
Yeah.
But that was Tony Paulson.
During world champ?
Yes.
It's
Even
impossible.
the world championship that he won. And then he received an enormous cup, and he had to pay an extra seat on the plane to take it home.
I remember one of this competition in your favorite land, in Ireland.
Yeah.
I was there with Luboš for some lake competition.
Mm-hmm.
And it was also for us totally impossible to do as a Czech competitor, because they in the middle of competition,
they stop on an island to have tea,
Kelly kettle,
yeah,
and make a tea,
yeah.
Make a nice lunch, and then and it was in time of competition.
And I remember we fished several times with Bob Church and Chris Osborne and Jeremy Herman and all those names.
Uh-huh.
The World Cup wet fly fishing. It was the first weekend of August on Loch Mask.
Uh-huh.
And around noon, all the boats go to an island,
Kelly
kettle,
yeah.
making lunch. And there was one or two boats with continental Europeans, and they refused to stop. They never were invited again.
Yeah. But for me it was like, what we are stopping on island,
Yeah.
and there were already some boats. Yeah, hello, how it is? Oh, not good because it's so calm. Yeah, and Kelly kettle tie and this and that. Another question: fly tying. I know that you are you like fly tying.
Yes.
And when I make research, I found when I put to the Google Paul Vekemans,
Yeah.
I found green buzzer trout fly. Yeah, you have to try it. Green buzzer.
Yeah.
So it's and there is written there is a photo of this fly.
Yeah.
Your name, Paul Vekemans, green buzzer, origin, state of origin, Belgium, and there is written, we don't know from what is this tied, from which material, but this is from Belgium competitor. So
it was probably in a book someone wrote, and he asked me for some flies, put them in the book, but I really don't know. It's so long away.
Green buzzer. So you are in Google also. So and
I'll find out.
what about this fly tying? Do you fly tie?
Oh yeah, a lot. Like I tied now with the COVID situation.
Even more.
Yeah, for all my Irish friends, I have a box ready, because when I'm tying, then I send pictures of them. Oh, that looks nice, and with that color, and okay, I make you some. Which size? 12s or 14s. Yeah, I'll make 12 and 14. And so, yeah, I like to do it. When I'm fly tying, I'm fishing.
So you have instant fishing, so you have fly tying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now I'm more fly tying than fly fishing.
Yeah. And what is your favorite for fly tying? This wet flies, this original wet flies?
Dries and traditional Irish flies.
Yeah.
That's.
I know that you put it on Facebook sometimes, and it looks really great. It's quite complicated flies because many different feathers. Well, it's not so easy like nymphs. Only wire and
that's right.
bead. Yeah,
I like to do it and to find capes of a certain color or shade.
This is also fly fishing. So and another question is here: fishing for pleasure. So because now we are here for competition, but when you are going for pleasure fishing, so where you go?
My favorite countries are Austria and Ireland.
So Austria for grayling, trouts?
Grayling most of the time, trout, some zeibling.
And in Ireland, musk, corrib for brownies.
Corib, Killarney,
Waterville,
Loch Currain.
It was also.
I did a lot of things years ago with friends. I went several times to Scotland for salmon fishing.
And did you catch any?
I caught several, but then you're fishing a week, maybe for one salmon. Then when they start coming in, you have to be in the hotel in time, otherwise you don't have dinner. For the rest of the time, you're standing complete days in the rain. The level is just not good. The week before and the week after is always the best week of the year. And then I realized for the same amount of money, I could go to the Bahamas or to Belize and to fish a week in shorts and sitting at 3 o'clock in the afternoon on the beach with a rum punch. And then I decided to switch to saltwater fly fishing.
So, and you are going there to Belize?
I did it for years. But my best friend in Belgium was the ambassador of South Africa, Jan de Jager. And we fished all the time together. Once or twice a year, we went to Belize, Costa Rica, Guatemala, Honduras.
For bonefish,
Bonefish, tarpon, and sailfish with the fly. Till now, I think I have 47 sailfish on the fly, which is great fun.
Yeah, definitely. And this is my plan also, because you can combine it with wife also, because you can fish and she can stay on the beach.
Yeah.
So, and how said Steve from Australia, happy wife, happy life.
It is. I went a couple of times to the Bahamas with my wife, with the 2 children, and then we met half days. So in the morning I went fishing, in the afternoon I went to the beach where they were, and we had a great time.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay, I have here some, I call it top 7, some questions. I make all the time this sound. So if you have to choose one best for you dry fly, which one it will be?
Adam's parachute.
Another, if you have to choose only one wet fly?
Alexandra,
okay. One nymph?
Pheasant
tail. With beads or without bead?
Without.
Without.
Yeah.
Old school.
Old school with the copper wire as thorax.
I know. Streamer.
Streamer. Probably one. Difficult. I don't fish that many with streamers, but now everybody is fishing with those snakes, but I hate them. So a minky.
Minky, okay.
Yeah.
So this question you, I think, already answered, because this is question about your favorite water, the river and lake.
River.
No. Which river and which lake?
River, I should say in general, River Tran in Austria. Lake Water in England.
I thought that you will say Corrib or Musk.
I had such nice memories on competitions, especially. They called it the Belgian Lake, Buell, because we learned our first steps of lake fishing were in Buell with the help of a lot of English friends now. And then we went there to beat them.
Yeah, sometimes it happens.
Yeah, sometimes.
And your favorite competition? This question is all the time for competitors.
It's old, but it was the Grand Slam that we did between Belgium, France, and England.
Just 3 teams.
Yeah. No, we invited. Sometimes Norway was there, Wales was there, Scotland was there with the team. You came with Czech Republic often, and it was in Belgium and in France we had a bank fishing competition from the lake, and in England we all the time had a boat fishing competition.
And it has named some this 3 competition, some series, or
we called it the Grand Slam.
Grand Slam.
And later it became sponsored by the General des Eaux, which was a French water company. And it was competition between 100 and 120 people.
Okay, another. If I ask which fish you will be remember for whole life, unforgettable fish, I call it.
A species of fish?
No.
A specific fish?
Specific fish which you caught.
The last tarpon I caught. Because it was, for me, a big one. 158 pounds.
158 pounds. How it's in kg? It's 75, almost 80 kg.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Was a good fish.
And on a fly?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And when it was? When and where? Exactly the place?
It was Homosassa, Florida. And I was invited by people. My daughter studied for a year in the States, and we decided to go there, pick her up after the studies, and do a tour. And they invited me to fish with them in Homosassa because it was his first time fishing for tarpon, and I did it already a couple of times in Florida. And I was the lucky guy.
Superb. Great. So another question. I call it fuck up. What do you do during competition? And you say, oh, if I don't do this, I will win, or some mistake. They call it fuck up. All the time they say so many mistakes I made.
Probably, but no, I can't remember. Probably having knots in my leader when there's just a moment that I need to fish, but yeah.
Rana said, no mistakes I do.
No. Yeah. A lot.
Everybody. So, Another, my very favorite question. Which advice you will give to rookies, to some young fishermen?
Try to find a good teacher that take the time to learn you properly how to fish. And especially for the young people, try to find someone who can teach you also to cast and to fish a dry fly. Because I think the youth is born with one arm.
Yeah. Yeah, we were thinking to make some competition only dry.
Yeah, it's difficult, but...
So, another, some special gadget which you use on your vest, on your fly fishing life. It couldn't be your patent. I mean, you are not invented, but you use it, you like it. For example, I said that I have here holder for rod, some kind of from foam. If you have some like this?
No. I'm just a normal guy. No gadgets, no special things. No. I can't remember.
Old school vest and old school...
No, not a vest.
No vest?
CNF package.
Oh, so...
It's just...
And why no vest? You are no vest guy?
It's too warm, too heavy. Most of the time I have maybe, just in case, 5 or 10 nymphs. The rest are dries, a nipper, a plier, some powder for the
dry
CDCs,
fly,
especially.
So it's
floatant, and that's it.
No, it's okay. It's all your gadget. So you don't use vest. You use some pocket.
Yeah. No, not even. It are the foam things.
Just foam.
Yeah.
From
CNF.
CNF design. Yeah. Yeah, I understand.
You have the small yellow ones, and you have the little
you have
bit
it
bigger.
around neck. Yeah.
Around the neck.
This necklace.
You can attach a little bit of things, and
okay,
that's it.
So this is gadget. This is exactly gadget, Paul.
Light travel.
Okay, Paul. That's all.
Okay, fine.
Thank you.
So it's time for a beer.
It's time for friendship from here. Okay, this is my final song. Paul, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
That you come in your busy day.
Oh, no, not at all.
I hope that tomorrow it will be everything okay and the Masters will end it in the best way how we do.
I'm sure it will happen. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Igor.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.